White Knight is an 8-issue miniseries set within its own version of the DC Comics universe. It flips the conventional relationship between the Dark Knight and his archenemy the Joker completely on its head, making us rethink everything we thought we knew about the Caped Crusader and his world. So, White Knight takes place in a world largely familiar to the usual Batman status quo. It's somewhat a hybrid of the traditional DC Comics universe mixed in with the Batman animated series and the original Tim Burton films, but it quickly devolves into something unlike any ordinary Batman adventure. The comic opens with Batman hot in pursuit of the Joker, aided by Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, and Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing, as the Clown Prince of Crime attempts to escape from his foe through Gotham's industrial district. Joker's hideout surprisingly is manufacturing pills, and as Batman tracks him down and the pair fight, Joker pulls a set of these unknown pills out from his pocket, proposing Batman will let him take some and says that these pills will help Joker do more good than Batman ever has. This angers Bruce, who responds by forcing the entire bottle of pills down the Joker's throat as Barbara, Dick, and the GCPD watch on in shock. Now this event is the catalyst of the book's main story, as this moment begins to change the public opinion of Batman and whether his actions actually benefit the city. This sentiment is eventually shared by Dick and Barbara, who were shocked at their mentor's actions, and confront Bruce only to discover his concerning demeanor stems from the fact that Alfred is dying. Meanwhile, Joker wakes up in a police hospital, but not as the Clown Prince of Crime, instead as the man he once was, Jack Napier. Napier, now fully sane and cognizant, begins a crusade against Batman, the Gotham police, and the city establishment for the damage they have ultimately caused to Gotham. Napier returns home where he's met by Harley Quinn, who attacks him before he's rescued by another, the original Harleen Quinzel, who is revealed to have left the Joker following the murder of Jason. Napier and Harley reunite and begin working together in a political campaign to improve the city of Gotham and rally against vigilante justice that currently oversees it. In this, Napier essentially becomes the White Knight of Gotham, the city's new protector and hero, through attempting to pursue change through legal and legislative means as a city councilor, rather than a masked vigilante. This peril is furthered even more when Bruce discovers that much of Gotham's elites have been profiting off of Batman's various battles, buying up houses and properties damaged in the fights for cheap and then selling them on for profits. This is eventually discovered by Napier, to who, after funding the construction of a new library in the poor district of Backport, concocts a plan to lure Batman into those areas by mind-controlling various members of his rogues gallery and setting them loose throughout the city. As expected, Bruce attempts to stop the rampaging villains, while also trying to get them away from heavily populated areas, choosing to bring them to Napier's library in Backport, believing that if they were hired by him, they wouldn't attack Joker's property. But this backfires as the villains destroy the library completely, severely injuring Bruce as the building collapses. Bruce is able to drag his body home, collapsing at the bedside of Alfred, who has been receiving treatment from Bruce and Mr. Freeze. However, when Bruce wakes up, he realizes that in order to save his master's life, Alfred actually detached his own life support system and plugged it into Bruce's. He awakens to find his father figure dead beside him. As this is going on, the former Harley Quinn, now taking up the identity of Neo Joker, begins to investigate Napier's plan, discovering the remains of Clayface, who Napier had used as part of his mind control scheme, using him to take control of the various villains that Napier held earlier. As she plans her attack, Napier meets with the Gotham police in secret to discuss setting up a Gotham terrorist oppression unit, using the money from the Batman Devastation Fund to equip the police with Batman's technology. Neo Joker attacks, and Batman's attempt to stop her ultimately causes further damage and devastation to the Gotham Gate Bridge, leading to Commissioner Gordon to call for Batman's arrest. As the GTO closed in on Batman's whereabouts, Napier arrives and squares off with his foe, with the former Joker surprisingly besting the Dark Knight at hand-to-hand combat and placing him under arrest. As this happens though, Neo Joker uses a super weapon stolen from Mr. Freeze to freeze Gotham's harbor, demanding in turn that she be given the Joker. This ultimately leads to Napier, Batman, and the GCPD agreeing to work together as Jack reveals that this medication is beginning to wear off, as he starts to transform back and forth between himself and the Joker. This leads to an incredible exchange, as Napier and Batman ride together in his Batmobile, where Napier reveals to Bruce the true nature of what happened to Jason, the former Robin, as Napier tells him that Jason didn't actually die, but he told Joker after being tortured that he wished he'd never met Bruce Wayne and Jason fled after Joker had freed him. This sobering revelation caused Bruce to reevaluate his actions and his behavior, as he and Napier met up with the GTO, the Gotham Terrorist Oppression Unit, to devise a strategy as Bruce embraces with Dick and Barbara as Napier's pills truly begin to wear off. Batman races through Gotham's tunnels to track down and stop Neo Joker, as the GTO led by Nightwing and Batgirl fight off the mind control villains protecting her. Eventually, Batman leaves to stop a freed Clayface from attacking Napier, who alongside Harley chases down Neo Joker in the Batmobile as they approach a closing floodgate. Napier launches Harley through the gap in the Batcycle, knowing the pair wouldn't fit through it together. With Napier seemingly sacrificing himself for her, Harley corners and apprehends Neo Joker as Batman searches for Jack Napier, and he ultimately saves the life of Jack Napier. The comic wraps up with Napier confessing to his crimes and being placed in a cell in Arkham Asylum where he marries Harley before he ultimately turns back into the Joker for good. Meanwhile, Batman meets with Commissioner Gordon where he confesses that maybe Napier was right all along, acknowledging that he let himself go too far and too deep into his war on crime before handing Gordon the keys to the original Batmobile and masks in front of him in order to earn back his trust, promising to work alongside the GTO and within the law to help make Gotham a better place. I think this story is nothing short of incredible. The comic deals with a number of complex themes including corruption, mental illness, and political activism, and uses the character of Jack Napier to question the impact that Batman's actions have on the city. White Knight does a great job of making you see the good and the bad in both Napier and Batman, understanding how their intentions are the same, but their approaches are a polar opposite. Both characters in the story go above the law to take whatever means they feel is necessary to protect the city. Neither man is truly heroic on their own, but maybe together their ideals represent the real hero that Gotham needs. While Joker understandably steals the show in the story, I personally find Bruce Wayne's arc to be equally fascinating throughout the comic. We see Batman become more enraged, reckless, and desperate, clearly feeling threatened by Napier's ascension as Gotham's savior, and compounded by the loss of Alfred, moving further away from the classic hero we expected him to be, and to a more vengeful, unstoppable force that refuses accountability and responsibility. It's through his conversations with Napier in the second half of the book, though, that enables Bruce to realize the error of his ways, and bring himself back to the person he was, brought back to Earth through humanity. Whether it be the humanity of Jack Napier, Dick, Barbara, Commissioner Gordon, or Alfred, whose dying letter is ultimately what determines Bruce to be a better hero than he ever has been, unmasking in front of Gordon and vowing to conduct his war on crime alongside the police as opposed to against them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.